Hello, I will be demonstrating how to install Regstair. Regstair is basically, for lack of a better term, a caching proxy for image repositories such as Docker, GitHub, Harbor, and Google and others, so that a client can have a single point in which they can access the various registries out there. The intent is to cache pulled content and to store credentials so that accessing these is somewhat seamless, a little more seamless than before. We'll see if there's value in it. I'm hoping there is. In any case, I'm going to go through the install, and we're just going to go to 3 virtual machines I have set up. And we're going to install the server first, and then we're going to go to the web UI, and we're going to enter some credentials for Docker Hub. And I assume I remember what my credentials are. So that may be a bit of a stretch. Let's head to the terminals. We're going to start here. We're going to clone the repository. All right. I'm going to cd into the directory, and we're going to cd. Can't DC in there. Not today. All right. Whoa, Docker. I'm not going to Docker. Let's do a build first. This will take, Docker. Now this is a fresh Debian install. What did I do wrong? Up -B. Build. Nice. Classy. Thank you, Debian. Oh, okay. Do we have compose? We don't. Well, anyways, we can get it in a couple seconds. apt install Docker compose. I apologize for that delay. I'm under some time constraints. Otherwise, this would be a different process. All right. This is the length of time it takes to build. We're doing this in real time, folks. Now, I should mention that this was built using Codex from OpenAI. I have always wanted to play with it, and I've had some incentive lately to do so. I thought of the idea of a caching proxy early on, as soon as it started, and some of the, as soon as Docker really became a thing, and I noticed that I was setting up virtual hosts and I was downloading images over and over again. And I thought, this is so repetitive and just chews up so much of my bandwidth doing it. I mean, I have bandwidth to spare probably, but still, it just felt like a waste. And there's the speed. How long do I want to wait for something to download? And I really don't want to wait too long for things to download. And I was using a lot of images over and over again, especially Alpine, and I just didn't want to download it once again. Some images were very large, some were very small, some contained a lot of bulk that you didn't use, and people have become more savvy, and the images are smaller, but still, there's a lot of data to download with each and every image. So the idea is to create a caching proxy, and then once other repositories started cropping up, I thought, wouldn't it be great if that caching proxy idea could have the credentials for all the different repositories? And that was the idea. And I thought, well, now is my chance to experiment with Codex. And this is the result. I'm pretty certain that it'll help save bandwidth on those that have little, and we take for granted the bandwidth we have. But around the globe, not everyone has the same amount of bandwidth. So this helps a little bit. And for anybody who has plenty of bandwidth, then what you're looking at is time. You're gaining time. So, all right, we're still building, and I'm just stalling for time here, talking to you. So what brings you to this part of the internet? Just to let you know a little bit about myself, I've been in the game for a while, and I rarely get a chance to do projects that I enjoy on the side. This is one of them. There's some other problems I'd like to solve. This one I'm solving for myself mainly, but I'm pretty certain others, I can't even be original. I can't even imagine that others have not come up with this somewhere at some point. And if you're wondering about the name Regstair, I was just in a hurry to come up with an original name. And I thought, that you could basically create sort of a hierarchical caching system for larger organizations. So like a staircase. So I was just thinking of names, and they're not that exciting. Don't look too much into it. It's just all hasty. I hope you enjoy. I hope people get some use out of it. So now that we build, I think we're almost built. We're going to put the service up. Now we're going to run it on hopefully the public interface. Excuse me. Let's do a Docker PS here. Let's see, 8443. We should have a self-signed certificate. So let's see about switching over to the browser, and we're going to try and access it. So let's figure out what IP address we are on my little network, a little testing network, 10.11.53. Let's go with that. Let's go to the browser then. Wow, the browser. All right, so here's the GitHub. You can see the GitHub. Very exciting stuff. So exciting. And you don't have to build it. You can get an image. I'm going to bump up that to, I think it's 0.1.2. I've got to put the release notes in to make it real. So let's go over here to, what did we say? That was it 54? 53. I'm wrong. Let's go to 53. And we're going to self-sign cert here, sort of like Proxmox does. You can get your own, but let's do this. Now, you first sign in. There you are. You got your web interface. I'm just going to put myself in there as admin. Or, no, I'll just put, I like putting James in there now and again. Display name. That's email. Let's put James at example.com. Password. I'll think of something. What do we got? What are our restrictions here? We got 15 character password. Oh man, pressure's on. What? No, not now. Oh, passwords don't match. Oh my gosh. I know you all just said, hey, why don't I come here and watch some guy type in passwords? I'm in. How'd that happen? Security breach. All right. So this is the web interface. It's got, the usual amount of things, but what you're really interested in is registry access. So let's connect to one of them. Let's say Docker Hub. I have to remember my Docker Hub password. I might get it. Who knows? All right. I got to change that. It should disappear. It's not. But you can see here that it is connected as Tiger Smile verified. So we're connected. We can push and pull from Docker Hub. You can see the other ones that are here. And you can add more. There's a configuration file for the container where you can add more. But this is just sort of the default ones that are thrown in there. You can't yet add the repositories through the web interface. I was kind of going back and forth on that. But anyways, that's it. We got one user right now. James@example.com. All right. All right. So now we're good there. We've connected. And just to show you the overview, we've got no requests yet. So now we're going to basically find a client and we're going to tell it to access the server at 10.11.53. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a sort of insecure connection because we have self-signed certificates. So now let's go over to this imaginatively named machine. I can't believe the amount of imagination that went into that. Client A. So I just cooked up these VMs just now for this. So that's VI for all the nano people who go insane when I do that. Tell me about how much I made a mistake by doing that. Okay, Docker. I don't have a Daemon JSON yet. Oh, interesting. So let's go in here. And I'm going to cut and paste something I did earlier on a different host. That didn't work, huh? That was stupid. Let's try again. No. Oh, I'm just blowing it left and right. All right, let's just paste it in. All right, so now we're going to change that to 53. And I think we're 53. 443. Oh, okay. Then we have to go system control, restart, Docker service, restart. I'm just typing terrible today. I cut my fingers doing something stupid. Not going to go into it. All right. Now, that should give us a chance to take a look at our Docker info here. And see that? Look at that. That's great. All right. All right, I'm just going to grab something I cut and pasted from a previous host. Here we go. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to pull this on client A. No, apparently we're not, because I didn't change the IP address. All right, so now we're pulling on client A. Okay, and so we're pulling it down. It takes a while. You can see that took a little while. Now we're going to go to client B. We're going to set it up similarly. And we're going to do that by stealing this. Who would steal that? So we don't have to do that again. And we're going to highlight this so we don't have to do that again. Boop. All right. So now client B is set up as a client also. And we're going to do the same pull. And just to make sure we're doing the same pulls, we're just going to take this pull here, right? The correct one with the right IP address. And we're going to pull over here. And we're going to see if it's any faster. Let's hope it is. Oh. So now we're going to look at the web interface. Now that seemed to be faster. We should not have hit our internet connection. So we're going to reload this. All right. So here's our cache. We hit Docker Hub library. We hit them just fine. We're caching locally. So that should be an aid to us. And that's how you install it, and that's how you get it working. Now, this is a bit abbreviated. I hope that it was helpful, and I plan to do a better video later on. This is just to help people get started. So thank you very much. Take care out there, and any constructive input is welcome. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.